Hello and welcome to the Bel-E and Scratch podcast. I'm your host, Bel-E.
And I am your co-host, Scratch.
And today I want answers.
Answers.
I'm not joking with you. I'm looking this up.
Well, if you're looking for answers, you'll always be busy.
Exactly.
It'd be nice. First of all, the truth is basic.
Oh, I know the truth is basic. And
if it's complicated, that's not the truth.
Oh, I know that. I'm just like...
Truth can always be conveyed in the most basic presentation, the most simplistic language. Anything that gets complex and confusing, in my opinion,
is not the truth.
Is not the truth.
Sure. Occam's razor and all that. All right.
Yeah.
Now, before we started the podcast, before we hit the play button, I was telling him about the YouTube channel Jack Rackham, because I like that guy. You know, I'm not a super history buff, but I do like history.
Sure.
You know, and he makes it very quick, informative, and you know, I always get a chuckle out of even the most horrific of circumstances that he covers. Because I do think he's a pretty funny dude.
I mean, I used to think that there was some kind of, you know, underhanded exploitation of the truth.
And I don't believe it's inaccurate.
Well, based on history.
Sure.
But history is so, for lack of a better expression, complicated.
Yeah, of course. History is written by the winners.
Yeah, but there is a very basic through line that you must follow, because we're basically taught history.
Mm-hmm.
We're basically taught history in a public school environment, and there's just too much to cover.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, they basically emphasize, you know, this step leads to this step, and that step leads to that step. And so there's a lot of things that don't get covered that when you go back and look at history, you go, wow, I never knew that, or, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's so much that, you know, that the powers that be are trying to keep you from this knowledge, although
technically, yes.
I would imagine that part of that does exist.
Yeah.
But you just don't have enough time to cover all of it.
Okay.
So when you branch off into these little blurbs and bits about the history related to great figures in history, so much as like we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's just something, unless you specialize in that area.
Yeah.
You're not going to really run into.
No, I get it. I'm just...
You know, somebody that you look at as this great historical figure, and then after they retired, you know, one day in July, they stripped all their clothes off and ran around the house clucking like a chicken.
Of course. Or something like that.
You know, obviously they're not going to
cover that.
Well, they're not, even if they do, they're not going to emphasize it. They'll just say,
sure,
you know, King George went mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mad King George.
Mad King George.
Sure,
what made him mad?
Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck cares, basically? No, it's just, what had happened was, I was watching the video where Jack Rackham was covering the French Revolution, and if there is, like, one aspect of the French Revolution, now I know the French Revolution was complex.
I guess.
Like, it started from the top down and the bottom up at the same time.
Right.
You know, it started with people on the top, you know, people in charge saying, this is stupid, I'm sick of having only 1/3 of the vote, but I cover 95% of the population, we're going to make our own rules and invalidate the king, because they're 95% of the people. Right. And then you have the people on the bottom who have nothing, who are starving, basically saying like, hey, they keep having lavish feasts over at the king's palace and all the other people who are in charge. Let's go get their food and kill them.
Yeah, we just want some food.
Yeah, they just want some fucking food. So it's complex in that it started from both ends of the candle, if that makes sense.
Right.
Obviously, based on how bloody and horrendous it turned out, that makes a lot of sense when you think about it like that.
Sure.
So, you know, and all this stuff, you know, the public, you know, like the the Office of Public Safety or whatever it's called, the guillotining, everyone's not revolutionary enough, as Jack Rackham puts it, which I'm like,
we're running into that today. That's a human dynamic.
Yeah, I know it is, but
you're not religious enough.
You're not secular
enough. You're not
blank enough.
You're not conservative enough. You're not liberal enough.
Yeah, that's just humanity.
That's humanity.
So essentially, every time I've gone over the French Revolution in school, in books, and even Jack Rackham, although Jack Rackham gave an explanation as to why he didn't cover it, but there was always one aspect of it that always got glossed over, and the way it was presented to me, it was basically the quote-unquote straw that broke the camel's back of Robespierre's political career, so to speak.
Right.
It basically was the straw that broke the camel's back of the Reign of Terror, which got everyone to go, oh shit, we need to get this guy out of office and off our planet now.
Well,
and it was this cult that he started, which everyone glossed over. It's like, okay, he killed upwards of 20,000 people, ran this Office of Public Safety, secret police. And then the cult happened, and everyone went, we gotta get rid of him. And it's like, what? What cult? Who? Why?
Well,
what the fuck? What happened?
Once a rocket, hits its zenith.
Sure. They would find any excuse to...
And then there's the loss of power and the fall away.
It's like... But here's the thing. It's not always... for me personally, it's not always the horrific acts before and the fallout. Sometimes I'm always curious, like, what was it? What was the final match that lit the fuse to their downfall?
What was the one thing... The one guy that got so drunk they got kicked out of Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly what point, since you're all heroin addicts and alcoholics.
Exactly.
What line
did that dude cross to get kicked out? Exactly.
Get kicked out. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
That is always something I'm curious about.
That's a very interesting observation.
Does that make sense?
It does to me.
So every time... Now, here's the thing. I basically just looked it up, because I don't know why I never thought about doing it before. Basically, according to Wikipedia, this is like the only source I'm looking at right now because I'll do more in-depth research later. I went into this going, it could be nothing or it could have been something. It is the cult of the supreme being.
Okay.
And basically, it was started by Robespierre during the French Revolution, classifies as deisms to an extent.
Really?
Apparently. Basically... From what I glanced at, again, I didn't read in depth of it because it was literally before we hit this record button.
Yeah.
The French Revolution basically were rejecting not just, the royalty and the powers that be in their country, but also Catholicism as a whole. Changing, like, the calendar, the structure of the days of the week, so no one knew when Mass was, and all sorts of stuff,
Good luck with that.
Exactly. So, the people who were kind of in charge of getting rid of this Catholic influence on France were loosely merged under this umbrella of the cult of reason, which is basically an atheistic view of
the cult of reason.
Yeah, this atheistic philosophy group of people who, obviously the end all be all is logic and reason of the mind.
Yeah, well,
and all sorts of lofty ideas.
You can connect that to a dynamic that's going on today. People, you have a large group of people saying, follow the science.
Yeah.
And as you can tell by being a third-party objective outside observer.
Sure.
That the science is at times...
Questionable.
I think that's...
Or not fully explored enough.
I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah. It's not that I don't believe in science in that fact. It's just like... I want to believe the studies. But someone is holding the purse strings and wanting to have the results say something specific.
Yeah,
and I
it's
can't
all
trust
based-
that.
And it's all because it's motive based.
Yeah, which is why a lot of the scientific stuff, it's not that I don't believe in gravity.
Yeah,
it's just I'm like, what can I trust?
Why don't you quote, when you quote facts, quote unquote facts, when you quote facts to me,
Yeah,
why don't you bring somebody into the conversation that doesn't have a stakehold?
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I know that.
It's hard for me to trust anybody. I mean, you're like, well, it's not really an unbiased source.
Exactly. And yet,
so
that's always been my problem.
What am I supposed to do with that?
Exactly.
You telling me that I can't question it?
Yeah, that's what science is. You ask questions. Same thing with same thing with philosophy. Except with philosophy, you can't per se bend it a certain way. You can, but you can't.
Right.
Because the whole point of philosophy is to continuously ask questions, and I thought science was like that, but nowadays, no.
Well, philosophy ultimately allows for disagreement.
Yes.
And people that are talking about follow the science.
They're not looking for disagreement.
No, they're not looking for any kind of dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not looking
to me
for.
Personally,
they're not looking for compromise. They're basically after the human innate principle of I am right and nothing will change it.
Right, and if you're gonna jump up and yell something,
correct,
and say this is my identity, and somebody challenges you,
yes,
you should take that as an opportunity to explain your position and win someone over. But if you get angry
and try to browbeat the person that challenges you,
then that tells me there's something wrong with the faith that you have in whatever it is you are professing.
Yes.
And people think, only religious people do that.
No, everybody does that.
Everybody does that.
That's just human nature.
That's human nature.
But anyway.
So if you have a problem with a challenge to your life statement, then it's you.
Yes.
Because you should be able to at least back it up and then go home and sleep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But anyway, this cult of the supreme being, basically Robespierre was not, he didn't like Catholicism, but he also didn't like atheism, so the cult of the supreme being is basically a backlash to this cult of reason in this French Revolutionary time.
Right.
Saying that, basically I'm trying to read real fast. Basically, it's a huge backlash to the atheistic philosophy group of the cult of reason. Robespierre believed that reason was a means to an end, and the singular end was virtue. So basically, the cult of the supreme being is that it was built on the belief of the existence of a god and the immortality of the human soul. They borrowed a lot from the Catholicism and Christian doctrine, but not everything, obviously, because if I've learned one thing, it's religion likes to borrow from itself.
Well, if you're going to get into it,
religion is an Ouroboros snake in and of itself.
Can't disagree with that.
Make of that what you will. I'm not saying that out of
tail is eaten by the head.
And it just keeps going. It keeps going. I don't say that as a negative thing.
To a point.
Yeah, I don't say that as a negative thing. I say that as things that translate into one religion also translates into the other.
You got to pay attention to what's going on around you.
Yes.
And people that you got to understand that secularism, non-secularism all incorporate certain aspects of existence into their
correct
frame of reference. Okay. And when you hear something, then all of a sudden you associate it with the other side that you quote unquote don't agree with.
Sure.
And you automatically dismiss it.
Yes.
I think that's a bad step.
Indeed.
I think, you need to, if it makes a certain amount of sense, if you dismiss it based on the source per se, I think you're losing. Now, yes, of course, there are certain
things that you shouldn't
buy for. Based on, I'm not going to take marital advice from somebody who's divorced. You know what I'm saying?
Or you're not going to take marital advice. Oh, no. No. You take marital advice in terms of what not to do.
Yeah,
but you don't take marital advice from someone who's been divorced about 5 times and they're the ones that kept fucking up. Does that make better sense?
Let me put something a little less controversial. I'm not going to take people who have never had children. I'm not going to take advice.
Okay,
from them
that makes
on
more
how
sense.
to raise children. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, I understand they have their value.
Sure. And it could be
ultimately, for lack of a better description, they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay.
You know,
their opinion is only valid as like the third party outsider, not as like an in-depth expert. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Meaning, you know, an expert can tell you what to do, what not to do, but a third party, its value is that they can see things that you, the person in the situation, can't. So they have the ability to take a step back and go, is that what you meant to do? And then you think about it and go,
you were at times too close to the situation.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is the value of a third party perspective to me. But anyway, I didn't mean to start off
that's cool.
hitting it out of the park like that. Religion is an Ouroboros snake. That was just, I literally just thought of that right now. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm right.
I think all belief systems ultimately are that.
Indeed. But anyway, so, speaking of science and shit that shouldn't make sense, but does.
Science!
I proved manifestation is real.
Mrs. Yakamoto.
I don't know that.
You're beautiful.
I don't know that reference.
That's a line in Science!
Oh, God.
Blinded me with science.
To be fair, every time I listen to that song, I can barely hear Thomas Dolby, because it's just that goofy synth track, which admittedly is awesome in a cheesy way.
Yes.
And the dude who's...
Very awesome in a cheesy way.
Yeah, very awesome in a cheesy way. And the dude yelling science. That's literally all I could hear in that song, because it just sounds like that dude is singing through the synthesizer, and I can't understand a fucking word he says.
Yeah.
But some songs are just like that, where it just sounds like they're singing, like, into a toaster, and somehow I'm supposed to feel something. I kind of have similar issues with Gary Newman, where it sounds like he is literally recording on an electric toaster, and it's like, Gary, it sounds awesome! I don't know what the fuck you're talking about! What? Did you say dragons? What?
You know what's so cool about it?
What?
I don't think he knows what he's talking about either.
Oh, I have so many. I have flies invading my bubble. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to talk about that because I have complicated issues.
No worries.
I think he's a great musician, but he's still in. You know how last time I talked about before the panorama.
The panorama.
There was all these people talking about how, humanity is a virus and how if we cull the population, heal the earth, Mother Gaia, shit like that.
These Mother Gaia people.
He's still
Where
on that
all these Gaia people at now?
Yeah, exactly. Gary Newman is still pretty much on that track, and it's like, oh, you dumb son of a bitch.
I want to see somebody have the nads to stand up and say, see? I told you. Woo! Who's number one? This guy right here.
Yeah, exactly.
I dare you. All right.
I might do
Because you've
it.
been corrupted with all your fans and your following and your social media.
Of course.
Identity. And these people will turn on you and put you back in the poorhouse where you came from.
Exactly. Whatever. I mean, I get the fact that some of these people have to speak the lines they were given.
That's what's so terrible is people keep pushing the envelope just to keep making.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
to me makes me upset. There's like some dude, I don't know if it's on the Today Show or something. There's like a dude who's actually from where we're from, who was raised in a similar environment that we were raised in, but he's saying all this crazy shit, but you and I are looking at him going, he has to. Right. He has to say that crazy shit. Things. Yeah.
And where people say, well, you don't know if that's his legitimate opinion.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Look, I get it. I don't look down on this person. Well, I don't. Like, I feel bad for this person because it's like they're basically collared and leashed in a way.
Well, I mean, yeah, and it's like say an atheist or not an atheist. An atheist is too formal. Someone who agnostic, somewhere in there, maybe moves into our area of the country.
Yeah.
And then everybody asks them, number one, their name.
Yes.
And the second question is...
what church they go to.
What church do you go to?
I've been asked that question so many times, and it's like...
And that's not a terrible thing per se.
That's just the area.
For me personally,
that's just the culture.
It tells me what language I need to use.
Correct.
Because I'm very incorporated into that culture, and telling me what church you grew up in determines what language I will honestly and truly.
Yeah.
And how I will direct conversation.
Sure.
Cause
you're 5 times better than that than I am, because I'm like, I don't care.
I've just been on the planet longer.
Well, of course you've been on the planet longer. Whenever I roll into that situation, I'm just like, I don't care.
So
it's not that I don't care about religion. It's just I've not found a church that I like.
I mean, it's group dynamics.
I know, but anyway.
I mean, if you move in here, what team are you going to pull for?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
The one right down the road.
Yeah.
And if you don't pull for that team, every fan of that team thinks you have a mental disorder. I mean, literally.
Clemson. I need another drink.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, So
yeah.
I proved manifestation was real. Done. It is now science. Because I fucking discovered it. I am now a scientist, and you will respect my authority.
You and your double-blind studies are getting on my nerves.
I know, right? All right, now here's the thing. There seems to be this wave of incoming, like, spiritual people on all sides of the fence.
Yeah.
It's probably, I would say it's a good thing.
Well, anytime there's a disruption in society, that
people will turn to...
Well, yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just think across the board, people are getting more and more in tune with spirituality.
Maybe it's how we're wired.
I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever. Anyway, so I've been, on through social media and through talking to people, I've been basically hoarding books, like digital books. Because for number one, if it's a book that I don't need, I'm not paying money for it.
Not if you can easily access it.
Correct.
That's just.
Yeah. So I basically downloaded a shit ton of books.
I mean, if you had a choice of, there's 2 gas stations.
Yeah.
This gas station over here is selling gas at $3.50 a gallon.
Yeah.
And this gas station over here is selling gas at $0 per gallon.
Yeah. You're obviously going to go with the free one.
What? Yeah. So because
it's gas.
Get over that.
Yeah, exactly. So I basically grabbed so many books.
Right.
From stuff about the T-posing religion, stuff from the religion where you can't draw their guy, even some stuff where they brew the tea.
Really?
Some stuff that people who don't brew the tea probably shouldn't have their hands on, but I don't want to talk about that.
It's real interesting how that works.
Yeah, it was just on the internet. It was just out there. And I'm like, wait, I'm not supposed to have that. Download everything!
Well.
If I am anything, I am a thief of information.
Absolutely.
I would much rather be that than a thief of, property.
Yes.
Because it's harder to fence that shit. But anyway, so I just got a whole bunch of books, philosophy, self-help, just everything. Because I'm just like, I'm trying to figure my shit out, and I'm trying to gather as much information and knowledge as humanly possible.
Yeah.
And, I basically come across this aspect, called the law of attraction and, manifestation, the words we speak, me have my little mini breakdown a couple episodes ago. Where it's like, if God is the Word and the Word is God, then the act of speaking, the speech is a divine act unto itself and can shape and form the universe around us. And oh my God, and I just had a fucking meltdown because I was drunk. So,
all right.
So, it's this whole thing of you physically can speak your reality into existence.
Sure.
And this past week, beginning of this past week, I was kind of at my wit's end because, still processing the breakup stuff, blah, 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 blah. It's not shut up. Shut up. This is a valid thing.
You say so.
So I was just at my wit's end going, did I make the right decision?
Right.
You know, because the whole thing of, you know, not letting him explain himself, basically just bailing out and all that stuff. And I don't mean to keep talking about it, but this is like hopefully the final nail in the coffin. Because I was just like, this has got... Shh.
Thank Jesus.
Shut up. So, basically, on my way to my dance thing that particular day, I went, all right, you know what? I'm done. I'm sick of this divided, you know, conflict within myself bullshit. And I decided to kill two birds with one stone. I went, all right, universe, God, the source, the spirit, whatever the hell people want to call it. I manifest to see a dolphin with my eyes if I made the right decision on leaving him.
Yeah.
And I specifically said see it with my eyes because if I heard a word, I would have been like, so whatever, you know? Does that make sense? So I was like, I manifest to see a dolphin with my eyes if I made the correct decision. I manifest to see a shark with my eyes if I made the wrong decision, you know?
Right.
If it's a mistake I needed to correct. For whatever reason.
You're going to do it on purpose.
Exactly. And I specifically picked dolphin and shark because we're not at the beach.
Okay.
You know, because if we were at the beach, I would have been like, gopher and beaver or something like that.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Because you don't want to meet a shark on the beach.
Correct.
In any way, shape, or form.
Plus, there's dolphins and sharks everywhere when you're on the beach because of tourist trap stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So that, it's like, it's too common, you know? I need something uncommon. Something I can look at and go, that's it! That's it right there, that son of a bitch right there. Not 30 minutes after I make this proclamation in my car, not 30 minutes later, I'm walking into class, I'm putting my shit down, you know, I'm like, hey guys, you know, yeah, I'm having a pretty good day. Put my stuff down, and my best buddy, who's in this class, I put my stuff right next to hers, because that's usually how it goes, on the table, and I look down at her stuff. You know what's on her key ring? I
have no idea.
A fucking dolphin. Clear as day. A dolphin she's had on her... A dolphin that she's had on her keychain for years.
Yeah.
Years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that settles it. Not only did I make the right choice in breaking up that relationship, I proved manifestation was real. Now, obviously, you would have some detractors like, but she's your best friend. Surely you would have seen that keychain before. No, she doesn't flash her keys out like that.
Right.
And I didn't know she had that dolphin keychain.
So all the time you knew her.
Yes.
You had never seen her keychain.
Correct. And I'm like, that's it. That's it. I did it.
I don't like to show my keychain to strangers either.
Yeah, exactly. They ask too many questions. And I'm just standing there.
Isn't that awesome when that type of stuff happens?
I know.
I mean, it's a little mind bending.
Yeah.
As well.
And I knew it was legit because I felt such a rush of peace when I saw it. So I knew it was legit because this isn't the first time something like that has happened to me.
Right.
The first time something like that happened to me where it not only did I don't know what the point of it was.
Well,
but I knew what to. Yeah, the first time
you kind of spoke it out. It was more of a question. Wait a minute. It was more of a, I need a favor. And the second time, this time, it was a challenge.
What was the first time?
No. The first time you said it out because it had never really happened before.
Yes.
So you make that proclamation to the universe, creator, whatever.
Yes.
Whatever that energy is. And
this was a challenge.
This was more of a challenge because you're like, damn it, I want to know.
Yeah, because
you were a little ticked off when you said it too.
Yeah, I was, because I was like, I'm done. Like,
not
this
that you
is
said
driving
that,
me.
but
Yeah,
human nature says.
Yeah, I was like, I'm done with all of these feelings that I should. I just want to know.
Right.
You know, I wanted to know so I can move on with my life, and there it is.
It's like I dare you to show me something to move on.
Correct.
And life does that all the time.
Yeah, I know. And I feel so much better, too, because it's like, yep, there we go.
I mean, I am very guilty of not listening and embracing the signs that happen around me.
Yes.
I'm the first to admit it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's out of fear that we all have.
Yeah.
But
because you don't want to let go.
Yeah, you don't want to let go, and then there's always this there's always this anxiety related to new life, new new experiences.
Yep.
Okay. Because you always feel a little exposed
Mm-hmm.
because it's something you're not used to.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, the first time something like that had happened, it really wasn't a manifestation. I really didn't say anything. It was, this is how I knew that dolphin sign was legit, because the first time something like that had happened was, I didn't say anything. I wasn't having a bad day that day. Nothing was going wrong. It was actually having a really good day. I was back at my warehouse job, and about a quarter to half a mile up the road, uphill, was a gas station, and I went, I want to go get, like, a little cart of ice cream, you know.
Right.
You know, just a little something sweet, because I was having a good day. I had my keys, and, you know, I was going to, get in my car and drive up there, because, I was like, whatever, I don't want, whatever. And I put my keys in the car door, directly into the lock, and the second that it went in there, this voice in my head said, go for a walk. And there was this just fucking avalanche of peace and not really understanding per se, but this peace just washed over me. So I took my keys out, attached it to my belt, and I walked to the gas station to go get my ice cream.
Right.
Do I know why that happened? I don't know. But I now know that when something like that pops up, I now know what it feels like to have it pop up.
Right.
There's peace in a sign like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a natural instinct in all of us.
Oh, yeah.
If we allow.
Yeah. We allow it
to flourish and influence.
I'm trying.
Yeah. Well, it's like you and me and the matriarch, raised you and Bro to when you were children.
Yeah.
When you interacted with other people, to trust your gut instinct.
Yes.
Because I think we literally learn. We do learn how to interact with each other.
Yeah.
We also learn how to hide things from other people.
True.
And I think that our natural spirit, those types of issues, tendencies, characteristics will shine through.
Yes.
With someone who is open to receiving those types of signals and not dismissing them.
I agree.
There's a lot of people that have had bad experiences in their life.
Yes.
Because they didn't listen to their gut, for lack of a better expression.
Yeah.
And
I
believe that people should listen to that voice. Absolutely.
Yeah. I personally believe that I think I kind of got away from that whole thing, listening to my gut, because I've just been in so many situations where I had no choice but to interact with people, despite the fact that my instincts were like, you shouldn't be talking to this person. Via school, college, not so much, thank God. Retail, a little bit of the warehouse. And I just gotten used to just not doing that. Unless it was really apparently obvious.
Well, if you listen to that voice, then there are going to be times that you're going to challenge that voice.
Sure.
Like, but your rational mind is going to override your gut.
Yeah.
And go, oh, it's no big deal. You're going to be okay.
This is typically why I've also started to research into not ego death, because I don't know if that's much, but
I don't know if that's possible
it's more
in Western philosophy.
No, I know in Western philosophy. I mean more as not a death of the ego, more as like a taming of it, and basically a way of being like, your job is done. Let me listen to this thing that's telling me of danger.
Right.
Let me listen to that right now and switch back and forth. Does that make more sense?
Absolutely.
Basically bring everything in a balance.
I think it depends on your approach. I mean, if your approach is to cage the ego, tie it up.
It's not so much.
I don't think ultimately that's going to be successful.
No,
I don't learn to shape or mold.
No, I don't plan on.
More of a hands-on.
Yeah, it's not so much a caging of the ego or a death of the ego. Just more of a. Please stop.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't mean to hit it. I didn't mean to get all heavy in the first hour.
So what?
Yeah. I'm sorry, this is like the first drink I've had in a couple days.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of like, Dolphin! I told my friend about the dolphin. She heard mine was blown too. She said she had that dolphin for years, and I was like, yes! And you don't show that your keychain to people because normally it's in your purse. And she's like, yeah! Normally I have it in my purse. And I'm like, thank you, my friend. You helped me so much. You and the universe. And then the rest of this week, I made a manifestation bingo.
All right.
I made a list of 5 things I wanted to see this past week, and I got all of them but one. And the only one I didn't get is probably because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah, whatever. Shit, I don't have that book in here. I'm like keeping notes track of this shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I'm a scientist. Science. So what had happened was, I decided, okay, if I can do that, I'm gonna do other stuff.
Right.
And I was like, alright, I manifest to see 3 stars in one place. Like in the same space, basically. A white cat, a falling tree, northern lights, and a mysterious stranger. That one was too fucking broad and could literally be anyone on the street. So, yesterday I checked that off being like, man, that's fucking stupid. What the hell's wrong with me?
That's some quantum physics right there.
Yeah, I know, right? Now I'm thinking with portals. Because I don't want to be a classical scientist. I want to be like a Rick Sanchez scientist, where they just do shit for the fuck of it.
Hey, we're here. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and the only one I didn't see was the Northern Lights, because I was thinking like, maybe there's like a candle or some goofy shit like that, but I really wasn't paying attention.
There's a weed named Northern Lights.
You mean like a strain?
Yeah. An old strain.
That kind of relates to something that happened at the festival.
Thanks for the tea, by the way.
Oh, that explains it. That explains it.
You ask and you receive.
Yeah, exactly. You asked for the green tea, and I got you the green tea.
Yes, you did.
Does it work?
I think it does.
Good. Good, I'm glad. Whenever you run out,
I love tea.
Good, I do too. Whenever,
awesome.
Yeah, you run out, I'll go get you some more.
Oh, I'm good.
I'm just letting you know.
Thank you.
All right, so basically, the other day, yesterday actually, or other day when you actually hear this podcast, I don't know. Okay, I went to a festival.
Woo!
I don't want to say where, and I don't want to say what kind of festival because people are gonna track us down when we get famous.
You cannot possess us.
Nope, not yet anyway. Plus, we're also not sponsored.
Yeah.
I basically go up to this festival, place, pretty, a little, I'd say medium distance from us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I was just like, man, I just want to do something this weekend.
Right.
I want to do something. And I went up there, and I had so much fun. I was like, oh my God, apple turnovers are delicious. And this really hot dude gave one to me, and I'm like, ugh, I wish I had like a Barker Lounger on top of a palanquin being holstered by people, and I'd just be perfect. I went into several of the shops I was familiar with, you know. I didn't go into I didn't go into like the game place that you and I went.
Right.
Because it was like, I want to be outside, man.
When it's a nice day.
When it's a nice day,
yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
And it hasn't been nice for about a month and a half, 2 months. Well, I mean, you know.
Well, you get hot more easily than I do.
True.
So.
Yeah.
No big deal. That happens.
Every time I go outside, it's always to do something, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
Kind of maintenance or task.
That's fair.
That's
yeah, you
correct.
need a mini vacation too.
Yeah, I do. I need one.
Like just take a weekend and just be like, I want to go outside, but I ain't doing shit.
I'm doing shit.
Yeah, I ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
Something breaks, I want someone else to do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I had, you know, an apple turnover. There was gyros, chicken kebabs, fried Oreos, you know, festival food. You know, people were selling apple cider slushies and apple donuts. And I'm like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. So I visited some of the shops I was familiar with, you know, some of the thrift stores and all that. And then, okay, I'm going to try to be as diplomatic as humanly possible.
This situation involves diplomacy.
Yes. Because I don't know what's going to be...
Where were you last week we exited the Middle East?
I was at my house. Probably watching TikTok. So, basically what had happened was I decided I'm going to be my own hippie stoner dirtbag boyfriend. And I got myself a little something.
That only a hippie, stoner, dirtbag boyfriend would get?
Yes.
Some old socks? Well, whatever. Yeah.
I don't want to say it. Because I don't know what's going to get dragged out in like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you know, you know. And if you don't know, then you don't need to know.
Right.
So...
Uncool people.
Uncool people. So that was actually kind of fun. There was like a cigar shop.
Yeah.
The dude was like closing his business down. He was like gonna move back to Tennessee or something.
Right.
Because it was just cheaper for him to run his business out there because he already had the fucking warehouse or something else, he said.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, it's a logical business decision. He was having a fire sale.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. And I got some stuff because it was a damn, like, from 30, 40, 50, up to 70% off of stuff. And I'm like, I'm not going to get another opportunity like this. Psh, give me stuff.
All right.
And I was like, oh, I feel so much better because now I'm the old dirt bag now. I'm the deadhead dirtbag now. Well, training wheels version, but whatever. I count it.
Yeah. Make us proud, baby.
I know. To be fair, I couldn't. I don't hate the Grateful Dead, but I just could never get into them. I'm not saying Garcia wasn't a good guitarist either. But it's just not my vibe.
Whatever left field area that came from, I'd get off that.
What? It's because I said Deadhead.
The Dead? Oh, the Deadhead.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The teddy bear.
Oh.
I think it's a bear. I'm not sure. I never asked, and I'm too afraid to ask now.
It's not worth it.
I know. But anyway. So that was part of the festival, and I was like, yeah!
Yeah.
You know. And then at some point, it just started getting real hot, and there was a lot of people, and not a lot of places to sit, so I just kind of went, you know what? I know how to fix all of my problems in one fell swoop.
And be an awesome humanitarian.
Well, I mean, whatever joy people get out of that. I decided to donate blood.
Yeah, I'm saying there's worse ways you can spend an hour.
Oh, I know. I figured, you know what? If there's going to be one place where I am allowed to sit down, unencumbered and unintrusified.
Listen, people.
Yeah, in a place where it's cool, air conditioned, where they'll feed me, they'll give me drinks and water, a little bit of company too, people to talk to.
A TV and a nice, comfortable couch.
Yeah.
Thing.
If there is a place where I'm gonna get all that shit, it's the blood donation people.
Donate blood, people.
Yeah. And
it's really important.
Oh yeah, kind of, sort of, just a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
It really is.
So, be it for selfish reasons, be it for selfless reasons, I went in there and I was like, oh, thank God I'm out of the heat.
Well,
I'm dying. The only thing that freaks me out about donating blood is the fact that, here's the thing, I've donated blood before. I don't know what gauge of needle they stuck into me. Here's the thing, it's not the blood that freaks me out. No.
Right.
It was the fact that they came at me with a pretty hefty looking gauge it was the first time I physically
really
felt
sharpened metal straw.
Yeah, I was like, this is the first time I physically felt a needle in my body, and I do not like it. Because I've donated blood before, never, obviously you feel the initial impact, but then it goes away after a couple minutes, for me at least. Then,
and sometimes it just burns.
Oh, it burned, and my arm felt numb, and I felt cold, like internally cold. And I knew there was AC, and I told the lady, I was like, hey, I feel cold, like on the inside of my body. Is it because I am quickly losing fluids and blood?
Yes.
And she said, that's not typical. Most people feel warm. And I was like, I don't feel warm. I feel cold.
No. Well, it's not typical, but it does happen.
Okay.
Losing blood volume drops your...
This might have been a bad idea, because now I understand why I'm getting so fucked up.
Hey, take it easy.
Sorry, I'm drinking alcohol and then talking about this blood donation stuff. I was like, oh.
I worked in a trauma bay for a number of years. That they heated that trauma bay to 96 degrees.
Why?
Now imagine being in the full paper burqa.
Oh.
With these big paper boots on, and a paper hood.
Oh my God.
And a mask and a shield.
Oh.
And the room you're standing in is 96 degrees.
Yeah.
We had a big, one of those small half refrigerators.
Yeah.
Full of Gatorade on the outside of the trauma bay. Yes, it was lovely. So when
were you allowed to get some?
Absolutely.
Okay, good, because I'm like, you need some electrolytes.
You sweat off a couple of pounds.
Yeah. Anyway, you were saying trauma bay.
You lose blood, you lose temperature.
Yes.
Okay, I don't care what anybody says. That's fact.
Oh, I know.
Because I've been there.
Oh, of course. And you know better.
We used to pump fluids into people.
Mm-hmm.
We used to do this thing. It was called a level 1, or the slang term was a slammer.
Okay.
We could slam, quote unquote, slam blood products and or fluid into people in seconds.
Mm-hmm.
These things were pneumatic. You just put them up in these little cases.
Yeah.
Hooked it up to the line.
And there you go.
And hit a button, and you hear this, and it would just squeeze these bags of blood and fluid into people.
So it was kind of an emergency type situation.
They were heated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
fair enough.
People that lose blood volume, their temperature drops. Period.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because here's the thing, I wasn't scared, but I was like, why the fuck am I cold? This doesn't happen.
Yeah. Right.
I've done this like 2 or 3 times before, and I never got cold. Why am I cold now?
You did a good thing,
No, I know. No, I don't regret.
Blood.
Yeah, I don't regret it.
Tremendous effort.
Yeah, I don't regret it. I was just like, why is that needle so big? I actually physically had to physically get my wallet out of my pants before she stuck me, because I saw the needle and went, hang on a minute, grabbed the wallet, put it in my mouth, and I'm like, okay, just biting down on the wallet, just screaming, biting, and I just held it there for like a good 5 minutes, just chewing on the wallet, just like, because it hurt like a bitch, and I was like, this is the first time it hurt like that.
All right, people. Yes, the process sometimes is painful. Just remember,
sometimes pain is a part of the process.
Sometimes, just remember what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's going to save someone that is dying.
And bring your wallet too.
Yeah, you might be uncomfortable, but the other person is dying. Donate blood, please.
Yeah, bring your wallet to bite down on it. Don't be dumb. Be like me. Bring your wallet to bite down on for the pain.
Yeah.
Don't be a bitch.
Give blood.
Yeah, give blood. Don't be a bitch.
That's a good slogan. Donate blood.
Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch.
It's like I used to do with the guys in the warehouse. Just be like, hey, you're not a pussy, are you?
Oh.
And they would lose their fucking minds.
I bet they would.
Because it's one thing for, like, a dude friend to call another dude friend a pussy.
Yeah.
It's another thing for me to do it.
That's for sure. That's right.
I don't know. I enjoy that. All right. So the festival went off without a hitch. Donated blood became my own dirtbag boyfriend, which I'm like, hey, it's a bonus. Had fresh apple turnovers for the first time in my life. Like fresh ones.
Yeah.
And I had fun.
That's cool.
Someone gave me a poker chip and didn't ask for it back. So I'm like, am I in the Avengers now? Is that how you do it?
It tapped on the shoulder.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd be like, and they just be like, hey, poker chip. I'm like, fuck. Anyway, all right. So I'm kind of tapped out. I'm kind of drawing a blank because I drank after I gave blood. Which, I didn't think about that until I came
It does happen.
Yeah, until right into the recording. I'm like, oh, crap, I need to eat something.
Yeah.
But anyway,
What do they have to eat?
They had, like, soda and water.
They have, like, snacks.
They had, like, junk food in there, like chips, Doritos. Which, here's the thing.
Little Juanita cakes.
Yeah. Yeah, Little Debbie's. But for me personally, I grabbed a bottle of water and, basically a quote-unquote healthy Fig Newtons. Because I was like, okay, if I'm going to eat something after donating blood, I'm going to make it halfway,
Sure.
something. So,
right.
And I was just happy in the chair, being like, I'm just so happy. And I literally just chilled there until they essentially kind of kicked me out.
Last call. So you stayed there eating and drinking in the blood bank.
Yeah.
Until last call.
Not until last call, but basically until someone said, I was waiting for someone to give me the go ahead to get the fuck out.
Oh, okay.
And they said, and then at some point they said, okay, if you're feeling, all right, you can head out if you want.
That's cool.
And I went, oh, okay. I took that as my time to leave.
Sure.
Went out, grabbed a fucking shirt on the way out, because I wasn't getting any gift cards that day.
No. I hadn't seen that shirt.
Oh, it's I think I put it in the hamper because it was a little stiff, a little starchy,
a little newy.
Yeah, I think I figured, if I run this through the washing machine at least once, it'll not be so cardboardy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a classic red shirt with the icon on it. That's all.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. No, if it was some kind of hella bitchin', shirt, something like I lost a quart of blood and all I got was a lousy T-shirt. I'd be wearing that all day, every day.
They should trade up.
Yeah, seriously. I personally would much rather have donated blood and then gotten a shirt that said, I lost a quarter of blood and all I got was a lousy T-shirt.
Lousy
blood
T-shirt.
connection underneath that. I want that shirt.
I'd take that.
Yeah. So, or something like, I survived losing, I survived bleeding out. I want that shirt too.
Yeah, all bleeding stops.
Yeah, eventually.
Eventually. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Eventually. It'll stop at some point. You just got to figure out which point it's going to stop at.
It's a drag.
But anyway, so I don't mean to run out of topics. That was just basically my week. Just, trying to get my shit started as a personal trainer and all that stuff. I got 2 people. One is a definite, one is a maybe.
Yeah.
I need like a third or a fourth. And then I'm set, and I can just keep the ball rolling, and I'll just be like, oh yes, I'm successful, and I'm going to keep going out there. I might talk to Scully, but I won't get into that.
Yeah. She's kind of busy right now.
I know, but at least I want to give her the opportunity, like, hey.
She might know somebody.
She might. But I'm just like, hey, Scully, you get some free time, I'm going to make you a champion.
She could be one.
Yes. I'd be like, hey, I'm going to do that for you.
Pound for pound. She's one of the strongest people I've ever met.
Yeah, and guess what? Make you look like a rock star.
That's right.
You ain't got to worry about none of that, because you're going to look like a rock star, my man.
Have a bathroom you can play baseball in.
Uh-huh. No, I want... No, I don't want... No. Fuck. Where is it? I gotta find it. I don't want a bathroom I can play baseball in.
Yeah.
I want... Where is it? Where is it? It's gotta be here somewhere. I'm not gonna play it because copy bots.
Yeah.
But I just need the lyrics. I'm like, where the fuck is it? Ads. I don't want that. I want get through the ad.
Yeah, those ads drive me bananas.
Yeah, it's like let me skip them.
Are we in trouble if we admit that there is no ad that they could show you that would cause you to click on it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but you said right up front.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in anything that you have
to say
or push.
Yeah, like you should have sold me to this in like 3 seconds flat. Done.
Yeah.
This is why
why do I need 2 of them?
Yeah, why do I need 2 of them?
Yeah.
There is there's actually this thing on the internet where people were saying that if you have an unskippable ad on YouTube,
yeah, they're
not going to buy your product. Like, they're going to avoid it like the plague because you do stuff like that. Oh, if
the skip ad button doesn't pop up?
Yep.
I can understand that.
And I'm like, that's not how...
You're just ramming it down my throat. I'm not really interested in this product. Yeah.
I don't want a bathroom I can play baseball in. Just get back to it. I want a huge sail that can hold the squalls, a big black ship with some cannonballs.
All right.
I want to be a fucking pirate. That is like the best song in the universe. I don't care what anyone says. I
want to be a pirate.
I'm going to make a rock star. I'm not a rock star. I want to make a choreography to the sea shanty version of Rockstar. I'm gonna make a sword piece version of that.
Yo ho ho.
Because, scimitar, cutlass.
There's a lot of saber fighting on ships.
No, I know. No, a scimitar.
That was more cutlass.
Cutlass has like a curved guard over the blade. Scimitar usually does not have that curved guard over the hand.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a cutlass.
Okay.
Scimitar is more of a technically more Middle Eastern weapon.
Yes.
Obviously, or ancient weapon. So I probably shouldn't say ancient because they still they probably get used to this day. But anyway.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I'm like, look, that's the only time I'm gonna get a sword, and it's a pirate song, it's a sea shanty. I am gonna use the fucking sword. You can't not use a sword. It's like the one prop you can do that with. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So, all right. So, my lofty. I'm saving money.
Sure.
I remember hearing this joke where it's like, when you take this type of medication, do not drink while you are on this medication. And you ask why, and they go, because if you are taking this medication, 1 beer can feel like 4. And then the person goes, so I'm saving money.
So I'm saving money.
Yes. And that's what I feel like right now. I had 1 can of my preferred brand, when normally it takes me the entire
when I attend
can.
my Alcoholics Anonymous
Yes.
conference this week, I can say I no longer qualify.
Yes. Donate blood.
Donate blood.
It saves you money.
It saves you money. Yeah, it does. Hey, listen, I don't know what to tell you.
Donate
man.
blood. Don't be a bitch. Save money.
I used to work with a guy who was in a fraternity at a large college.
We should donate blood so we get more fucked up.
That was their motive.
You know what?
They would all go do. I mean, it's for a good cause.
I know it's for a good cause, and obviously
But,
they treat the blood and
like a
test
5K
it.
party would turn into a 2K party.
Yes.
Because they went and donated blood.
You know what? I don't care.
Crazy college kids.
Yeah, I know. All right, donate blood. Don't be a bitch. Save yourself money.
Yeah.
Damn.
Donate blood. Don't be a bitch.
Save yourself some money. Yep. That's exactly how I feel.
It's very well needed.
Oh, yeah. Because
Um,
people be bleeding.
People be bleeding. I worked ER trauma for almost 20 years.
Was there ever a day you didn't need blood?
Never a day.
Exactly.
Never a day.
Exactly. All right, and so I'm kind of tapped out of ideas, and I'm drawing a blank, and I'm feeling mildly unpredictable.
Yeah.
So unless you got a topic, we're just gonna be just going at it, I guess. Just shouting directly into the can and be like, "Ah, yeah!"
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
It's not that we don't want to talk about. Oh,
yeah.
We got the Wheel of Death.
Wheel of Death.
We got the Wheel of Death. Oh my God, I almost forgot about that shit. Okay.
Gotta do the lead in.
Yep. Okay. All right, we are out of ideas. You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It is time for the Wheel of Death. Ding.
Ding.
Yes, the Wheel of Death, and I wrote on the back of it because I need a new Post-it note. All right.
Yeah, you do.
How the Wheel of Death works is on the Post-it note saying Wheel of Death. Whenever we run out of ideas, but we want to continue talking, we just go to the Post-it note. All right, we have Spock. We got the young ones, Sid and Nancy. Still have not seen that movie. We can't do that.
No, you gotta see it.
Yeah, I gotta see it. I do, because it's Gary Oldman. Polyamory. I have opinions.
Yeah.
Dracula. Immortality. Star Trek in general. X-Files. Hadn't finished it yet. Energy Vampire. Generation X for some reason. Squirrels at a Rave. I don't know where the fuck that came from.
Squirrels at a Rave.
I don't remember where that came from. Fractals. Hadn't seen that video. Can't do that. Monetize the pain. / insanity. That's our slogan. The Witch. The movie. Which you gotta see again because it's awesome.
Yeah.
Dimension 20. Zero Sum Game. Not Another Teen Movie. Women Be Shopping. Guys Be Hunting. Fuck else did I write on this thing? Step-headed red Oh, that was a past podcast. Why the hell did I write nothing to talk about human ? Plenty to say.
That's one of our slogans.
Nothing to talk about human?
Nothing. No, we'll take human out.
Nothing to talk about, but plenty to say. Okay, I was about to say, like, what the fuck? What did I write?
It's okay.
And I'm like,
I don't know where human came from.
I don't need. That's why I'm questioning it. I'm like,
Nothing to talk about.
Plenty to say. That's basically the theme of the channel.
That's the theme of this generation.
That's the theme of this generation.
They have plenty to bitch about, but nothing to say. You know.
Fuck. Alright, so that's the...
I I don't even know how to approach squirrels at a rave. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know where I got it from. I remember what I got it from. It's, you don't have your ducks in a row. You have squirrels, and they're at a rave.
Ducks in a row, squirrels at a rave.
Yes, because squirrels at a rave is the exact opposite of ducks in a row. One of my friends, he's got ADHD. That's what he described it to me like. That's what he described. That's how he described his ADHD to me.
The exact opposite of ducks in a row.
Yes.
Is squirrels
at a rave.
Oh, that's tremendous. I like that.
Yes. Yes.
Squirrels at a rave. You know, that'd be a good idea.
What?
Drop a cage full of squirrels to a place like that.
I don't.
It's just going off like a bomb.
I don't think that's a good idea because here's the thing. I like looking at squirrels. I don't want a squirrel rolling up on me.
No, I don't like
when I used to work at the warehouse, you know, I'm outside. I'm in nature.
Yeah.
Because there was literally a forest right next to where I worked.
It's like a big metal door.
Yeah, there's like a big metal door. There's the
concrete platform.
Yeah, there's like a concrete, the dock, and then there's trees.
Trees.
Yeah, there's trees, and right next to there's a road. That's it.
Yeah.
So I would, you know, look at the butterflies, observe the skinks and the spiders and the birds and the squirrels, who, didn't seem to like me.
I don't think squirrels like anybody.
No, I don't think squirrels like anybody. There was like a feral cat who kept having kittens.
Or?
I don't fucking know. So, you know, I would just observe nature, basically, you know, from my dock, and just look at all this. And the squirrels would try to approach me, and I'd be like, you get the fuck away from me, man.
Furry vermin.
Ugh.
It's like raccoon's bastard cousin.
And even raccoons are kind of bastards themselves.
I hate raccoons, and I hate squirrels.
You know, possums are okay.
People eat them, but they're not worth eating.
No, they ain't worth eating. They're apparently
unless you really
desperate.
Need some food.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently what?
They're apparently high in cholesterol. Because when they said that in Christmas Vacation, I looked that shit up. It is true.
Squirrels?
Yes.
Really?
They are high in cholesterol. And not the good kind.
Apparently not. I've seen some fat squirrels, but most of them are pretty lean.
Yeah, you know you're living in a first world country when you encounter fat squirrels.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or just fat vermin entirely. You know, rats, maybe.
If they were anywhere else, they'd be eaten.
Yeah. Or thin as a rail. It's like when I went to London for the first time and the fucking pigeons would not stop mobbing people for
What's
food.
That song?
What?
It's a song in Mary Poppins.
Feed the birds. Which apparently at the time was considered propaganda because people fed the fucking birds and now they're trying to eat you first. Because any interaction I had with pigeons, they would fly away. Like, you get within 30 feet of them, you know? But when I went to England for the first time, you know, going through one of the parks that's near Buckingham Palace, I don't remember. I was
Trafalgar Square?
I don't remember. I was like 14, and then I was like, you know, and I'm just taking pictures with my dumbass camera.
Right.
Pictures I still haven't gotten back, but that's another discussion. I'm still not happy about it.
Right.
So, you know, I'm just too busy taking pictures, and all of a sudden, there's like a group of pigeons just rolling up on me like it was a Tuesday. It probably was Tuesday. Yeah, they're just rolling up on me, just getting in my space, in my grill, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And all the other people who were not native to that country were also going, what the fuck is this? And, yeah, God knows I'm happy I went when I did, because afterwards, UK kind of got torched a little bit for the couple years after that. still technically on fire, arguably.
Maybe so many pigeons it was street food for street people. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe there was like a lesser homeless population, because
London?
Yeah, a lesser one. Otherwise, the pigeons would have been
know.
afraid of people.
Well,
does that make sense?
Yeah.
Not a drastic homeless population, but definitely not as big as what we
you were
would have.
Besieged by pigeons. I mean, just huge flocks. Of
exactly.
Pigeons.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they were getting up in my grill, and I'm
they
like,
are edible.
No, I know they're edible. It's called squab.
They taste better than squirrel, I've been told.
Apparently so. But anyway, so, that's basically squirrels at a rave. It's the exact opposite of ducks in a row.
Squirrels at a rave.
Yes.
Jedi squirrels at a rave.
Yes. Even better, so they can kill each other.
Yeah. Squirrels and lifesavers.
Yes. Exactly.
Because I tell you what, if the squirrels ever discover the Force, I'm in trouble. I hate squirrels.
Well, logically speaking, if they discovered the Force, wouldn't other things discover the Force too?
Shut your mouth.
I'm just saying.
I was 6 years old.
Oh, no.
And me and my parents went to visit a lady that attended my father's church.
Uh-huh.
And she wanted one of those old antique bird cages.
Yeah.
It was huge. Probably big around as a barrel, maybe a little larger, and it was probably about 4 or 5 feet tall. And there was a squirrel in there.
Uh-huh.
The squirrel was sitting on a perch like a bird would.
Uh-huh.
I was 6 years old, and they were all in the kitchen, and I was in the living room staring at this squirrel, and I was thinking, what a fuzzy. I want to pet the fuzzy. And I opened that door and reached in that cage to pet that squirrel, and that squirrel attacked my hand like a buzzsaw.
Oh.
Yeah. I hate squirrels.
Oh.
Except for Sandy on SpongeBob. She's cool.
Well, that's because she's Texan or she knows martial arts.
Martial arts, yeah.
Yeah, which, let's not talk about Texas.
Oh, no.
I don't want to talk about that. No.
There's a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of shit going on, and I don't want to talk about it.
It's currently being invaded. And?
Invaded?
Yeah, from its southern border.
Oh.
Hundreds of thousands.
That's been happening for decades.
Yeah, well, it's really bad now.
Oh, wonderful. Anyway, no, I don't want to talk about Texas.
Yeah.
Fuck. Anyway, so
I don't want to get too serious. I mean, I guess ultimately we're going to get into a serious topic.
No, I know we are eventually going to get into serious topics, but I'm just like, we just talked about like the French Revolution, religion is Ouroboros.
But, those types of things don't really have any societal. Well, specific. There are applications of things that have happened in the past.
Sure.
Modes of thought.
Yes.
Patterns of action.
Yeah. But nothing current.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there is. Whatever is going on in this country, we did not discover.
No.
It has happened in every major empire since the beginning of time.
Yeah, this is nothing new.
They all bitched about the weather.
Yeah.
They all bitched about overpopulation.
They all bitched about
under-resourced. We're burning up our land. We're burning
up our crops.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not thumbing
not enough food to go around.
Not enough food to go around. I'm not thumbing my nose at that.
No. This is just nothing new.
It's nothing new.
This is why Rome kept conquering other people's lands, is to take their shit.
Yeah. So,
I just don't think.
Okay, let's use the current situation with the current Roman Empire, which is the continent of North America, leaving a place in the Middle East. Why does this place in the Middle East still continue to be the #1 supplier of poppy on the planet? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
The plant that is
processed into
heroin and
morphine.
Yes.
Okay.
morphine.
That might be why.
And fentanyl and OxyContin.
Uh,
Why is this? I'm okay. We pulled out.
Okay, morphine makes sense.
We pulled out after 20 years.
Yeah.
Then why did not, if these
poppy fields?
These poppy fields, why are they still as large as they were 20 years ago? It's not like you didn't have surveillance all over the place. It's not
exactly.
like you didn't see them.
No.
Why don't you just burn them out?
Yeah.
So.
And then the world's balance of OxyContin and fentanyl, morphine and heroin would have been out of balance because the drug war is a lie
I said 20 years
shit.
ago when this whole thing kicked off that, after about 5 years in, it was strange to me how OxyContin had such a foothold in in North America. And we were in control of the largest natural resource
for it.
And
yet.
On the planet.
And yet.
This medication was,
I don't know. The whole
addicting the entire continent of North America.
And possibly further out, too.
Possibly further out.
I don't know how far out Big Pharma's reach goes, but still. Definitely not into Canada, kinda. Definitely not Mexico.
I don't know.
No, it's just, I don't know. The war in the Middle East was started. It's a lot more. I think part of it is that the reason it started has become more and more complex. Because, say World War I, that was, obviously the setup for that war was complex. Treaties here and there, and falling out of treaties, and people being pissed off at each other because of land. The setup for World War I was complicated, but the trigger, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, what was the match that lit the flame?
Right.
That was relatively simple. The assassination of Archduke Ferdinand.
What it takes is some type of event that will turn public opinion.
Correct.
Okay, it's just like the attack on Pearl Harbor. Pushed
the United States into
the country known as the United States into World War II, and prior to that attack, that country did everything in its power to stay out of the troubles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
But when public opinion turned,
that's when everything else turned.
Even though the leaders at the time understood that it was just a matter of time before we got involved in the European conflict.
I guess we just decided to the North Americans decided to bide their time.
Like I said,
and wait.
It took an attack on quote unquote sovereign soil to turn public opinion, and once public opinion turned, then the government got in.
Pretty much. So I don't know.
So now today the government determines public opinion.
Yeah.
So the government
doesn't matter.
Can do what it wants to because it has the ability through the media, in my opinion, to control public opinion.
It's just a bunch of stuff.
The majority of 20 years ago when we entered the Middle East, in the capacity in which we just walked away from, public opinion, the majority, was, hey, let's go in there and clean that rat's nest out, man.
Yeah. But that didn't exactly happen.
No, and it ultimately never does.
No.
I mean, unless you have, now World War II is kind of, if you look at all conflicts, global conflicts, what was happening with World War II was a little different.
Sure.
You had a megalomaniac.
Yes.
That was not only conquering land, but he was committing genocide.
Yes.
That was a little different. I'm not aware.
True.
I mean, obviously, genocide is a part of all war.
Yes.
I would imagine.
Yes.
But
and every culture has committed it.
And from the beginning of time, absolutely. You feel that you have God's right to exist, and with God on your side, then you can take the other side down and do whatever you want.
Just whatever.
Because they're subhuman. They're not real people, so you shouldn't feel bad.
Yeah, you just find whatever reason that works best.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Indeed.
So, World War II was a little different because there was somebody that was actively trying to get rid of a group of people who, at the time,
yes,
and may even continue to this day, had a tremendous amount of influence
Sure.
based on wealth. And
I don't know, man.
that's the way it works.
Yeah, I know. That's how it works. I'm just like, frack. But anyway.
Not a bad day.
No,
today.
not a bad day.
No.
Yeah,
really.
you and I need to sit down and watch something because.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's not that our life.
We did Train to Busan.
Yes.
We got a lot off that. We need to
Oh
sit
my
down
God.
and watch some stuff.
Yeah, we need to watch some stuff. Train to Busan's so good. So good.
Yeah.
But it's not that our lives have become stagnant. It's
No.
just nothing particular is happening at this moment. Like, normally I would be like, okay, at work this happened.
Rah, 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 rah.
Of course. But right now,
There's nothing complex about what you're involved in.
No.
There's no complexities about it at this particular
No,
moment
no.
in time.
Personal-
In the future, there will be.
No, in the future there will be. No, right now I'm basically just, I'm kind of on this weird pseudo vacation.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember my first one. I was around you. Well, I was a little younger.
Okay, but
But I was still in my 20s.
yeah, basically I'm just in this weird loop of,
I was going to school on unemployment.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's not that I can't find a job, you know, I just,
Oh my God.
yeah, I know.
There's tons of jobs out there.
Yeah, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to stick to stuff like DoorDash, you know, Lyft, Uber Eats, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That way I can make some pocket money, you know, some gas money.
Yeah.
Because that's really what I need. You know, and I can do that off and on while I'm trying to get people to come train with me, you know?
Sure.
And that's basically where I'm at. I'm basically just trying to get some kind of side gig, preferably driving, because I can go places, you know?
You definitely have the vehicle for it.
Yeah, I know I have the vehicle for it, and I love it. I love Jareth.
And it's paid for.
It's completely paid for.
You can say that now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be able to hide the fact, I was able to hide the fact that, my car Jareth wasn't paid for, because if I told people I had the ability to buy it outright, they would have been kind of weird and like,
It
what
would
the
have been.
fuck?
I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
It would have been weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I basically just told people, yeah, I'm making car payments and stuff, when in reality, I didn't make nothing.
The type of thing endears you to people. It just says,
Uh-huh, it does.
because people will go, you paid what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How much money were you having? Like, heh? Hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People do it.
So at some point, I just gotta get on the boat with that DoorDash and Uber Eats stuff, because it's like I need gas money at some point,
Do it
sooner
now.
or later. Yeah, do it now. Exactly, do it
Do
now.
it now. Especially now with everything raging right now, because people are afraid to go back out again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas me, I don't care, because I was raised by healthcare peoples.
Raw.
And disease does not really frighten me. Well, some do, but a lot of it doesn't. Does that make sense?
You've got a strong immune system.
Thank you. I ate dirt as a child.
That's right. Every day.
Every day.
All right.
I'm petering out and I gotta clean my room.
Yeah.
I don't
No
have to.
worries.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like. Alright, I gotta clean my room, I gotta take a shower, I gotta do some yoga. I need a system reset, basically.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, because that festival took a lot of energy out of me.
Put a lot of apples in you.
A lot of apples. I meditated up there. I went up there and I meditated, and you know how you have bad ideas, but you're not wrong?
Yeah.
That's what I did the entirety of that festival. I had a lot of things that you could consider being bad ideas, but I wasn't wrong. Like the whole, oh, don't go donate blood so I can get a place to sit down in the AC, and they'll give me food and water and shelter.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's a logical idea.
Exactly. Oh, hey, I'm gonna be my own hippie
Wait a minute.
dirtbag boyfriend and buy myself my
It's
own.
got soda and snacks in there?
Yeah,
What
for
do
free.
I gotta do?
Exactly. It'll cost you an arm and a leg.
arm and a leg and a pint.
Uh-huh.
Pint? A
Yeah.
pint Bobby.
Yeah, same. It's this. Shut up, Jack.
Exactly.
Same deal with the whole, I'm gonna be my own hippie stoner dirtbag boyfriend by getting myself hippie stoner dirtbag boyfriend things.
Yeah, except you will bathe before you do it.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
No, you bathe after.
Oh, okay.
I don't fucking know.
All right.
So that was basically the festival. I was like, I was full of bad ideas, but I wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
Because meditation is weird like that. It'll do weird shit to you.
It can.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool.
All right. But I'll probably elaborate that on in the future. I am good. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, this was a weird one, but I don't question these things.
It's okay.
So, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. All right. That was it, folks. I was your host, Bel-E.
And I was your co-host, Mr. Scratch.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Goodbye.